Hello, Monika Dena Huppertz here of Whole Heart Energy Healing, wishing you a nice warm February 1st. I don't know if it's warm where you are, but it's still a little chilly here. It was minus 15 earlier Celsius, and now it's minus 10. So we're having a heat wave here in Edmonton. And if you're in other parts of the world and needing a little bit coolness, come on down to Edmonton. We've got enough to cool your jets and everything else. So, hello. Today is going to be a special one. We're going to talk about love and relationships here on From Challenge to Champion. We'll clear and heal your love connections with yourself, your kids, your significant others, your business, your faith, and at the end, we'll fill you up with unconditional love. In this particular one, you need to be able to do muscle testing if you want to check things on yourself. And if not, if you don't know how to do that muscle testing, no problem. I will be doing that muscle testing by proxy for you. So if you give me permission to work with you, then that works out very well. And then I can be of better service to you. Um, with Valentine's coming up very, very shortly, a lot of times our attention comes to the topic of love. It's uh, it's a natural thing to want to show love, express love, and especially receive love, and know that you are loved. It's a part of our identity. It's been shown scientifically that when children are not given love and attention growing up, they grow up to be adults who are just not right. Everything goes wrong for them in their world, whereas children who have been nurtured and loved and tended to, there's an astronomical difference in how the children can be and perceive their world. So we're going to be looking at your beliefs. This time I'm going to be doing theta brainwave type clearing. So I'll be getting myself into that state. If it just give me a second, I'll do that right now. And then feel into the audience. And then those that are going to be watching on replay. There's going to be a few of you. Nice. Okay, good. And like I said earlier, one of the things that will help you help yourself is the use of muscle testing. Muscle testing is something that I've gone to in depth in previous Facebook Lives from last year and this year. And I have a free book on my website, www.https whole heart 8 WHOLEHEART and then the number 8.com, wholeheart8.com. And there is a page called under resources and sources and so on, free for the taking. And I have a little booklet that I put together for people to help them on their muscle testing journey. So you're welcome to pick that up and get a copy of that. I'm going to be doing, now can I do that? Connect, no. Insert emoji, no. Post a sticker, no. So what I was looking to do was post the cover of the book that I'm working on. This one is a paid book. It's called Your New Beliefs, 101 Muscle Testing Statements, Love and Relationships number 2. I have 3 books on love and relationships, 3 books on connections with your family, and 3 books on money. And I'll be extending that a little bit more, either with more on those same topics or on some new topics. So um, that will be available. This is a $30 download that I have, but I will be reading some of this for you, and we'll see if we can get started. But let me go, before I start healing, let's go into a little bit about the purpose of this whole thing. As I said earlier, we need to feel love in order to grow and thrive and survive. It's one of our basic needs. If we don't feel wanted, and if we feel ignored, or shunned, or ridiculed, it has a huge, huge impact, a negative impact on our psyche. And we grow up believing that certainly we're not enough, we're incapable, we're unlovable, and then we view the world through those lenses. One of the things being a teacher we did in class was February 14th, rain or shine, we had Valentine's Day parties. I don't know if you remember them in school. I know I did when we were kids. I got to cut out the Valentines from a huge paper booklet, and you got to cut them out, and then you got to cut out the little envelopes and glue them together and write your name, and you gave the nicest ones to your friends, and even nicer ones to the boys you liked or the girls you liked, whichever was your interest, and your teacher, and so on. I have I don't know if it's a drawer full quite, but quite a few of the Valentines that I kept from my students. And I loved it. And do you want to know something? They loved, absolutely loved, didn't matter what grade it was, in elementary school, they loved getting those Valentine hearts. And it was a time for everyone to feel loved, appreciated, heard, seen. It was a big, big deal to them. Um, when After a few of these, I kind of got used to, I don't know if you want to call it a routine of having these different parties in my classroom. And I thought, well, what's the big deal? And I remember one year I wasn't feeling right, I was tired, whatever it was I was going through personally was affecting me, not only personally but also professionally. And so I didn't put as much emphasis into the Valentine's Day party as I normally would have. I didn't orchestrate all the snacks, and I didn't. Um, uh, I think I did one craft towards it, and it just wasn't a big deal for me for that class at that time. And I learned a lesson very, very quickly how important it was for the kids. They were on their own making heart-shaped dogs and cats and bunnies and people and so on. And it was shown to me just how important that love connection was. And it made me realize just how important um, it is for all people. Um, I know a lot of people who have, let's say, not necessarily negative, but it's like, Valentine's Day again. Why do I have to show my love? I can show it any day I want, and so on and so on. I can make any day Valentine's Day. All true, by the way. All true, by the way. Um, but if you're choosing not to, here's a reminder. Hey, here's your chance to show those that you love, those that you care about, that you're thinking about them. And it does make a difference in your life. And it's in our giving of ourselves, giving of our love, giving of that thought, that little card, that little paper card, um, can mean so much, so much. If you think back to your dating days, um, when your sweetie gave you a heart-shaped card, or you got a box of chocolates, or there was a flower and a lovely card attached to it that you had handwritten, like the other person's eyes lit up and their smile got bigger and their feelings of love and appreciation just grew and grew when you were in that dating stage. That's important to you. It's because you're wanting that validation that they do care about you. And it's the people who keep it up who still keep their relationships fresh and alive because they keep affirming, hey, I love you. I don't show you just by making your coffee in the morning, because now that's become a routine. But here, I gave you a coffee and a little love note. Whatever it is, people like that little surprise that comes their way, and they feel appreciated, loved, wanted, needed, desired. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And when you keep those things fresh in your relationships, that just makes all the difference. It just makes all the difference in the world. And it doesn't have to be a card, and it doesn't have to be a flower, and it doesn't have to be candy or whatever else, or a gift. It could be your time. Honey, you go sit down. I'll look after the babies today. Um, Take the day off. I got this. And you do that thing that they do all the time, and they're tired of it, or they need that extra bit of sleep, or whatever it is. You showing your love in that way doesn't cost you anything, but it means so much. It means so much. And so I encourage you to observe Valentine's Day, or a day, um, actually more than a day, in your life with your loved ones. And that can be, yes, your spouse, yes, your kids, yes, your significant other, um, but it can also be yourself. Fall in love with yourself, appreciate yourself. Self care is being noticed, and as one of those things that we really need to do. We need to do this for ourselves, and making that a priority for ourselves in our lives, to show that we even appreciate ourselves, goes a long way towards our health and our own happiness inside. So you'll definitely want to do something. Um, and even if you're poo-pooing it, let this one sit on the back burner and percolate a bit. Maybe there'll be a different idea that will come your way. Um, but I know myself from experience of showing that I care about myself by doing extra little things for myself versus not, how I felt then and how I feel now. It's a huge difference. And I think it's especially important if you've gone through a change of life where you've lost somebody in your life. It could be your mother, your father, your brother, your spouse, somebody you cared for, a friend, a job, something you loved, a job, an item that you possessed gone. Like, we grieve for those things. And when we grieve, that grief needs to be satisfied either with time, or attention to us, or attention to the matter by us. Whatever it is, we have those needs. And by putting in this little extra effort, it makes huge impact on our lives. So I'm going to set it up that we're going to get some downloads as well. So if you consciously agree, then just say yes. And if you don't consciously agree, um, just don't accept it. Just don't say yes. Um, but the following is what I'd like to download. They come all from Creator. I work only with Creator, with Source Energy. I am considered a light worker. I work with the light. I get downloads from Creator. It's how I wrote my first book. That's out on Amazon. So what'll you have, do, or be, hun? Um, it was a download experience, and so that's who I work with, and that's where I'm coming from, is from a place of love. And my messages have all revolved around love. So I was very excited to be able to bring this to you now. So here's what I would like to set up for you. And you just simply say yes or allow and accept the following downloads. Um, and approve. Approve, I've just noticed now, is a big deal. You can allow things, you can accept things, but if you don't approve of them, when you receive them, it's like getting a package or a gift or a something, whatever it is, and it just sits there. It's unopened, unwrapped, it stays in the box. You can't enjoy the contents. So when you approve it, you can enjoy the contents. So this is what the contents are. I'll tell you what they are, and then you can agree at the end. You don't have to agree up front. That is not what I'm wanting you to do, is follow blindly. I want you to be conscious about your choices. And choices are a form of power and empowerment. So the following will be downloaded into your conscious mind. And if you know how to muscle test, you know that I do a finger flick as mine, where the circuit is closed, and that means a yes. When the circuit is open or broken, that means a no, and you should be getting a yes to each after you're done. So whether yours looks like this, doesn't matter. However, that works for you. If you're doing the standing method, you would tip slightly to the front for a yes, slightly to the back for a no, and I think I know there's others. Oh yes, the pendulum. People use pendulums to help them gain their answers. And so, if you're doing a pendulum, for me, prepare, there we go. So for me, front to back is a yes, side to side is a no, and that's that's just another way to muscle test and figure out what's going on for you. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to do my finger flick one. I use my middle finger. Um, I was told in sign language when I learned that, God, it's like 100 years ago almost, um, that the middle finger is the one that's most connected to the heart. And so when you do sign language, um, one of the things you do for the word like is use your middle finger, and that's how you communicate a lot. So my middle finger is the one that I use, and it can flick away. Absolutely, you can do any other finger you wish, doesn't matter. But that's what I had learned, and I brought that into my muscle testing practice when I started to do that. All right, so um, it's been set up that if you consciously agree, these will be downloaded into you. So I like to think prepare, so I'm preparing my body. And then I feel grounded, centered, balanced. And then I ask the question, or say the statement. In my case, I like statements versus questions. I know what it feels like to be completely loved, and this is what I'm downloading into you if you accept it. I know what it feels like to be completely loved. Okay? I know and experience who I am when I'm completely loved. Good. I know what it feels like to love completely. Nice. I know and experience who I am when I love completely. Good. I know what joy feels like. And these are all being downloaded into you if you desire, and you can check if they're coming through. I know and experience who I am when I feel joy. I know what it feels like um, to be completely healthy. Another form of love for ourselves is to be healthy. I know and experience who I am when I'm completely healthy. I know what unconditional love feels like. Most of you get that from, let's say, a pet, unconditionally. You'll get that feeling of love from a pet. We also get that from Source. I know and experience who I am when I experience unconditional love. I know what it feels like to receive and accept a healing. And healing, by the way, is done through love. When I do the process of healing with someone, I am the conduit through which Creator's love flows through, and that I send that love to the person. So, for example, if I've got a person who has an achy wrist, for example, well, I imagine at first that that wrist, I look at the tendons, the muscles, the joints, everything in there, and I see like it as if it's a red, an angry color, and then I switch from that, and I want to decide that this is healed, and I see love pouring into it, and the angry red is changing to their flesh color. So the blood is running smoothly. The signs of irritation are no longer there. Um, the the redness starts going down into a nice pink color, or whatever. Like, to me, pink is the color of love, um, and so I imagine a healing pink energy around there. I see them doing their movements without pain, without obstruction, without any impingements or impairments of all at all. And usually by the end of that time, the people are saying, "Hey, this doesn't hurt anymore." It's a wonderful feeling to know that I was a part of their healing. Their body did the healing, not me. I'm not. I'm called a healer, but I'm not the healer. It's God's love through me that heals that person, and their choice to accept that healing, to accept and approve that healing that comes their way, so that that healing does take place. All right, so we did the one where it says, "I know and experience who I am when I receive and accept a healing." I am worthy of Creator's love, Source, God, Creator of all that is, whoever you use. I just use Creator or Source interchangeably, sometimes God too, but I find people have certain words that they are for lack of a better word, offended, and I just use one that I think is kind of neutral. Um, but even if it's in your own self, even if you don't believe in God, Creator, love, there's usually uh, a source of something that people believe in, even if that source is themselves. So I'm worthy of myself's love, and that should still be a yes, because it's all in the same realm. So if you're offended by one word, use the word that feels best for you. I am not here to preach about a certain way, a certain name, a certain anything, other than the possibility that this love is out there for you to use to your advantage. And finally, I know and experience who I am when I feel worthy of Creator's love. So again, please check if you want to say now, I allow, accept, and approve the following downloads um, into myself. Do so now, and we'll carry on. So I have, like I say, that book, Your New Belief Systems, Love and Relationships, #2. It's in my ebook section on my web page there, and we're going to go through some of these. This one has, I usually do 101 at least, if not more. So I'm just checking to see where have I got. Oh, here we go, 94, 101. Okay, so I'll be skipping around a little bit. I want to touch on as many different areas as I can. Um, as I said in my write-up, whether the connection is with yourself, your kids, your significant others, your business, your faith, whatever it is, we'll work on healing that, and your intention will have a huge impact on that. So now the ones that we're going to do, that I'm going to state for you, I'll um, I'll say them, and you might have a yes statement, muscle test to them, or you might have a no. Um, and I will express when the appropriate answer is yes, and when the appropriate answer is no. And you'll see that as I go along. And if yours is the opposite to what the more acceptable answer is, then I will take a moment and switch that for you on your behalf. Like I said earlier, you need to just give me permission that I may switch that for you. And I hope by now you can see that I'm not going to pull any punches on you. That I'm above board. Um, I just want the best for people, because that's my um, reason for being here, is caring about people and wanting the very best for them, and being of service as a conduit. And that's what lights me up. All right, so check for yourself. I know how to put myself at the center of my own life now when appropriate. Preferred answer is yes. So if you got a yes, great. If you got a no, we're going to switch that for you. Okay, and I'll say it again. I know how to put myself at the center of my own life now when appropriate. And by now you should be having a yes response to that. And hopefully I'm not going too fast, but you can always, always, always go back to the video, go through it slowly, write them down if you wish. Your choice. All right, #2, I love myself as I am now. So muscle test that. You probably figured that out, that um, the appropriate answer should be yes. So if you got a yes, great. And if it's a no, we will change that. Okay. I love myself as I am now. And that should be a yes now. Okay. I love my body. Check. I love my body. If yes, great. If no, we'll change it. Okay. There's about one, two, three of you that had a no. So we'll change that to a yes. I love my body. You may not like its shape or something about it, but to love your body is an important thing for your survival and your health. Okay, good. I fill myself with love. Oh, I'm feeling a lot of no's out there. Okay, and that should be a yes. Preferred answer is yes. Okay. So once again, I fill myself with love. So I had switched that. Good. Next, I trust love. I trust love. And again, I'm feeling a lot of people are saying no. We'll switch that for you. If you have a yes, you're doing great. I trust love is now a yes. Good job. Okay, here's a different type. Love relationships are hard. The preferred answer is no. Love relationships are hard. That should be a no. If you had a yes, we'll change that. Okay, and that is love relationships are hard. No. Okay, good. Another one, love relationships are painful. And some of you are also still saying yes, and some of you are no. The preferred answer is no. Love relationships are painful. That's a no. Okay, good job. Love is complicated. Love is complicated. Again, preferred answer is no. Good. And if you had a yes, we'll change that. Love is complicated. No. Good job. It's hard to maintain love in a long-term relationship. Preferred answer is no. And I get some are yeses, so we'll just keep moving on. It's hard to maintain love in a long-term relationship, and that should be a no now for everybody. And if you're finding that you are not getting the preferred answer, a couple of things you can do. Number one, drink some water. When we're hydrated, everything flows. Everything just flows so much smoother, and your muscles will react better. Like you know yourself, when you're tired, when you're dehydrated, you can't move so well, it's difficult. Your muscle testing is the same way. It can't do its job. The second is you might be just overly tired, and sometimes you can't get the right answers until you get some sleep back into you. So you can always come back to this throughout the week and listen and redo them, no problem, and make sure that you have the preferred answer. So it's hard to maintain love in a long-term relationship, and that answer should be no. Good. I can be fully in my power and love at the same time. Preferred answer is yes. So if you have a no, we're going to switch it. Okay, I can be fully in my power and love at the same time should be a yes now for you. Good. Next one. I lose my power when I love. Preferred answer is no. So if you have a yes, we're going to change it. I lose my power when I love. And that should be a no now. Good. Yeah, it's not even sticking, so that's good. I got everybody. My marriages end in divorce. And that should be a no. Even if it has. Even if it has. So we're going to get you to um, think differently. Most marriages, it says most marriages in divorce. Isn't that something? Most marriages end in divorce, and that should be a no. Okay, so let's test. Most marriages end in divorce, and it should be no. Whether you have different circumstantial evidence, that's a different thing. Your circumstantial evidence might be different, but your belief system is the one that you're trying to affect, and you want it to be a no because most people don't get married to be divorced. You go in it because you think this is going to be a lasting relationship, and that through marriage it just solidifies it even more. Um, so, whether that has been your experience, your personal experience, I don't want you to be thinking that that needs to be the right answer, because then, should you decide to go forward with a new relationship, not even getting married, but into a new relationship that you're wanting, you're going to be already self sabotaging that relationship because whether you think of your relationship as a, let's say, even a trial marriage, that it's going to end in divorce because that would be your thought patterns, your belief system. So most marriages end in divorce should be a no. Romance is dead should be a no. Might be true for some of us. However, that doesn't make that the right answer for you to have in your belief system. You'll want, of course, to have the belief system to be romance is alive. So, romance is dead is a no. Good. Romance is alive should be a yes. Good. Romance is just seduction. That should be a no as well. There seems to be um, a common thought pattern of some people that, well, once you catch your mate, that's it. You don't have to continue to catch him or catch her. Um, that it's one and done kind of a thing, right? But no, that is not the case. Um, that's what allows your relationships to fade. And if that's your intention, great. Keep doing that. Romance is just seduction. You can believe that. But if you don't want that in your belief system, if you want your relationships to work out, whether it's your relationships with your kids, and you're showing them, that you care, your relationships with your spouse, your relationships with your job, your relationships with your in-laws. It's not just I can act nice and do these nice things for you as a way to seduce them, and then, oh, they're mine, so okay, I'm done that. No, 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 no. You still be nice. You still show you care. You still do those things that make life worth living for them and for you. So romance is just seduction should be a no. Good. Well, here's an interesting one, especially when what you have in your pockets are just moths. Um, Romance is expensive. No, it doesn't have to. the the people on uh, the the commercials want you to think it's expensive, and or it's an expected expense for you to show your love. You need to buy the $1,000 ring, the $5,000 earrings, the $3,000 television set, whatever it is. Does it have to be that way? No. Like I said earlier, just electing to allow the other person to sleep, and you look after the kids. Um, or you take them away on a romantic getaway for um, into the basement of the house, and somebody else looks after the kids upstairs. Like, whatever it is, you can do that. Romance is not expensive. Piece of paper, you draw some hearts and you write some love notes and poems or whatever it is. Not expensive. Go out for a walk hand in hand. Go skipping down the lane, for goodness sakes. Not expensive. Romance is expensive is a no. All right, so let's get back into some other ones uh, where the answers should be yes. So let's take a look. It's safe for me to have passion. It's safe for me to have passion, and that can be passion for all the things that we've been talking about. That should be a yes, and if you have a no, two of you, three, no, two of you that have it's safe for me to have passion is a no, so let's change that for them. Okay, safe for me to have passion, yes. I am freely living in the present. And the present is where everything is happening, people. It's not in your past and it's not in your future. You can look forward to the future, and you can remember your past, but you live in the present. And if you're freely living in the present, you are having a much easier time in life than bringing out old bad memories or fearing something that hasn't happened yet. So I am freely living in the present, yes. I am lucky in love should be a yes as well. And again, that love goes to any of those things. If this is true for you, this one says, I am ready to meet my love mate. So if you're looking for a romantic person to be with, someone who is available, as in not married, or as in emotionally available. They're not tied to their past, where they're just living in their past and so on, or living in fear, living in their future. Um, but you want to meet someone who is for you at this date and time. So that should be a yes. And even if you're not looking for that, it can still be a yes, because that love mate could be your dog. It could be your job. It could be your next inspired book that you're writing, whatever it is. So you can change the meaning of those words to what your intentions are for them. The one for me exists. The one for me exists. Now, there are many ones, and people who have for example, married and then lost a spouse and married again, they found out that yes, there was a second person for them. Sometimes they go through that guilt feeling of, releasing the previous um, love intent before allowing themselves to go and having that new relationship. But still, there are there are ones for you and me. I want to do just a few more. My soulmate will find me. So if you're one that believes in soulmates or you're looking for that, that should be a yes for you. And if it's not, we'll change it. Okay, good. I have a life outside of my relationship. That's a very important one. Very important one. I have a life outside of my relationship, and that should be a yes. Usually it's the outside interests that we have that attracted our significant other to us. They saw us enjoying ourselves while we were dancing, or orchestrating something together, or looking after a loved one. They saw that love, that passion in us, and that was the trigger for them to fall in love with us. So um, when you have a life outside of your relationship, you can certainly attract more. And when you maintain that life outside your relationship, you can keep that same energy, um, and that spark, because there's always something new coming in. It's not just the two of you; it's the two of you and your um, other interests that make it more. Instead of flat, it's more rounded. It's more fulfilling. So that should be a yes. I have a life outside my relationship. I know how to have nurturing relationships in my life, and that should also be a yes. Good. Just one more. Okay. And we'll switch that. I know how to have nurturing relationships in my life. Okay. And I'll do two more. I think I want to go near the bottom of my list because it's got different aspects to look at. Okay. How about this? I am capable of having a deeply loving relationship, and that should be a yes. Okay, and if it's not, we'll switch that. I am capable of having a deeply loving relationship. And then finally, I love my, and then you can put in the words that is right for you. I love my partner, my lover, my boyfriend, my spouse, my girlfriend, my cat, my job, my faith that I believe in, myself. I love my what? And that should be a yes for you, because these are people or relationships that are important to you. Okay? We'll switch that. If you don't have that, I love my, and you're filling in the blank at this point. Good. And so now, what I'd like to do is do the other part that I said I would do, and that's fill you up with unconditional love. And unconditional love is one of the few things that I, as an energy healer, can send out freely without worrying about the person's permission or not. Because when you're sending out unconditional love, it is Creator's love, and he, she, it, they, however you want to relate to it, your own. Um, um, you don't have the agenda, and Source can look after that person's need, that situation's need. So if it's you want to send unconditional love to your country, you want to send an unconditional love to your pet, you want to send unconditional love to your job space, you want to send unconditional love to yourself, your spouse, your partner, your children, whatever you want to send out unconditional love to. And it means that the highest, lightest, brightest, and best love for that person, for that thing, for that entity gets sent out. It's, it's coming from my heart, it's coming from your heart, and it's coming from source or yourself, whatever your source is, um, to whatever it is you're wishing it to be sent to, for the highest, lightest, brightest, best possible outcome possible. So I'll just take a moment. So the first bubble of love I just sent out was for everybody on the call, that they receive what they need the most. I'm going to send out a few more. This unconditional love was sent to our planet, that planet wide, people, plants, animals, things, situations, whatever it is, get what they need the most, or whatever, what is in their highest, lightest, brightest, and best for them. And I'd like to send out one more. I'm not certain where this one, I'm just given some guidance as to, is it pandemic, is it health, um, again it's planet wide, safety, safety planet wide. Okay, so unconditional love for safety of all, planet wide. Okay, that feels good. That feels solid. So the last thing I'm going to do is something called a breakaway. And I haven't shown this before, so but I am guided to do that here, so that's what I'm going to do. That's easy. So the breakaway is simply um, closing off from the person or people or situations that you were in, so that that connection gets severed, and you want that connection to sever so that there's no more interference from one or the other. You want to be, self-contained um, in many ways. It just kind of protects you. It releases anything that um, was bothering you. It releases your day. It can release, let's say you were in a room where somebody else was in a bad mood. It releases that. So let's do that. The breakaway. It just kind of breaks away your energy from whatever else is. And so it looks like this. I'm just gonna move that out, turn that down. There we go. So you can do it like this, where you just kind of use your one hand as a flat surface, and your other hand just kind of sweeps it away. Um, I used to do it this way. I'm finished, I'm done with that. I think I learned that from the cartoons, I'm done with this, that's it. Okay, so whether you do it this way or you do it this way, that's all good. And then you push it away. So you're no longer approving it. You're sending it out on its way. If it was negative, it goes to the light. If it was positive, it goes back to the person that might have connected with you. And that just kind of breaks it. Then the last part is a zip up. And the zip up goes from literally your groin straight up through out the top of your head. Now, when you get to the top of your head, you let your arm fall to the side. And I know it's not the very best. Um, I just have little camera space. So from the groin, I make a thing and I zip up my energy field and I let my hand fall down by the side. I don't bring it back down because that supposedly unzips it. It's what I was taught. Um, is it part of my belief system? Yeah, it is. Does it have to be? No. But I am comfortable with that being in my belief system, so I'm going to keep that one. Um, and do you have to break away? No. Personally, I found sometimes there was a time when it didn't matter if I did or not. Um, but if my belief system went more along the lines of, yeah, you know what, it is kind of important. So then doing that breakaway and a zip up, and I just felt better. I just felt more complete. You know, it's like you go to bed, you lock the door nowadays, and you feel better. You feel complete. It's done. You know, chances are nobody would come in, but you do it just because, right? And so this is one of those, I'm doing it just because. So I want to thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you next week. I'll be doing part two of love and relationships, and I might work from either one of the different books, or I'm going to delve a little bit more deeply into the one that I did, Love and Relationships number two, from my website, Wholeheart8 at wholeheart8.com. Please join me on my Facebook group. I do these Facebook Lives on my personal page, but then I transfer them as well over to my Facebook group, and it's there that I put often write ups about what I've talked about, synopses, little extra tidbits, whatever it is. I put that in the unit section of the Facebook group, A New Avenue. So Monika Dena Huppertz, A New Avenue. And that's the Facebook group you are welcome to join. There you can also share your knowledge. I would love to get your information on questions that come along. If you have the answers that you can share, that would be wonderful. I share my answers, but I don't consider myself an expert. Well versed, but not an expert, and other people have different knowledge that I do that can bring along new insights, new a breath of fresh air to than what I just bring along to that group. So I encourage you, if you have some gifts and talents, come share them. Come share. I would love to have you in the group, and I would also love for you to learn and check out the unit sections and see what can be of benefit to you, so that you can do um, whatever it is you're looking for to accomplish on your journey around the sun here. All right, everybody, I thank you very much for your time, and may God bless, and we will see you next Monday. Take care. Bye bye.